Today, we're going to look at the most powerful 4-5 creatures in Magic the Gathering. And we're going to start off with Klothys, God of Destiny. In my opinion, incredibly underrated card, because it's a green, red, 1 generic 4-5 god. It's indestructible. Now, you know what? It may not always be a creature when it enters the battlefield immediately, but it's at least a creature in your hand, and it's a creature on the stack. Because as long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Klothys isn't a creature. I think it is grossly underrated for this ability, though. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. Anybody's graveyard. Your graveyard, their graveyard. So it can be graveyard hate. If it was a land card, you add mana. So red or a green. Your red-green deck. It's going to be great. Otherwise, you gain 2 life and deal 2 damage to each opponent. That is either incremental damage that you do over the course of the game, but that sweet life gain or that sweet mana ramp, you can't deny that that's useful. You can go like turn 1 Mana Dork, turn 2 Klothys, and then by turn 3 have 5 mana up. You could even play a dragon. All right, moving on. We're gonna get apparently. Elixir has something. I'll nominate Klothys, God of Destiny. A little bit awkward there, Elixir. It's already on the screen over here. Sorry about that. We're gonna move on with Meme Brulee, the Shieldred. Okay, let's get Shieldred out. You know the problem, Meme Brulee, is that everyone is gonna ask about this for the rest of today's show. Shieldred the Apocalypse is a black 2 generic 4/5 Phyrexian Praetor with Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. But the problem is whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So, and of course we all know that when you combine this with card draw, with blue card draw. There's gonna be black card draw coming out of, what is it called? Necro Dominance or whatever. Oh yeah, that's great. Draw 5 cards, pay 5 life, draw 5 cards, gain the life back. It is a very, very strong combo. Once you start drawing cards with the Shieldred, you know, the game is basically all over. One of the most dangerous cards that they've printed that has seen multi-format gameplay. Next up, Elixir wants to redeem themselves with the Tergrid, God of Fright. This might be a slightly difficult show because I browsed the 4/5s. They overall aren't very good. There's like a lot of stinkers in 4/5. Tergrid, God of Fright. It's a 5 mana 4/5 god with menace. So no one thing can take on this Tergrid. You gotta take on Tergrid with 2. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So you make your opponent sacrifice stuff, and all of a sudden it's yours. Finders keepers. You know, it's like throwing someone else's garbage, someone else's stuff into the garbage, and then saying that you found it. Hey, I found it in the garbage. It's mine now. It's effectively how Tergrid, God of Fright works. She works in mysterious ways. But there's also Tergrid's Lantern. So you got a 2-in-1 deal over here when you play Tergrid. It's a 4-mana legendary artifact, and tap, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Also 4 mana, untap Tergrid's Lantern. With infinite mana comes infinite annoyance. That's right? Infinite mana, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice. Yeah, they lose everything. That's like a 1-card win condition. 1-card win condition. It's danger. See, I told you, Elixir. Or was it Elixir? No, it was Meme Brulee. I told you. They'll throw out Shieldred for the whole show. I should have a note at the bottom of the show. Shieldred's been taken. We've done it. It's been done. All right, Toads with Cura, Sovereign of the Deep. For the person who's playing Kraken decks, the 5 mana 4/5 Merfolk Noble, Vigilance and Ward 3. All right, so hard to kill the Cura. All right, you need a lot of mana. Whenever you cast a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent spell from your hand, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's mana value. Yeah, play your Leviathan, look like 12 cards deep, or at least 10, I believe. You may cast a spell with mana value less than X from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Finally, a payoff for playing your Storm-Tide Leviathans or whatever. It's like massive. It's basically Cascade. It's like Cascade equal to the X mana cost of your. You go X deep, which you're gonna hit something, and you get to play something for free. That's how it works. Mimberly says, a running breaking news like bar saying, no, yeah, this just in. Children's been taken. This just in. Christopher B with the weather light. Is that even a creature? The weather light. This? Hold on, I think this is a vehicle. Disqualified. Should I count? Okay, maybe, I don't know. I don't feel great about counting vehicles. It's not even a Look, it doesn't say creature anywhere on the card. No, I'm redisqualifying it. I was trying to think, yeah, maybe we should let this slide. No, there's probably a most dangerous artifact show that could turn artifacts that look like artifacts that don't look like creatures but are actually creatures. Yeah, Shieldra is going to be recommended constantly regardless. You're right. Duke Firebird with Magnus the Red? Is that a real card? This sounds like an AI-generated name. 5 mana for a 4/5 Demon Primarch. Is that like some sort of fancy bird or owl? Flying. Unearthly Power. Instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature token you control. That's like so much work to get online. But it's got the Blade of Magnus. Whenever Magnus the Red deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. Honestly, is not a very impressive card to me. Maybe it looks, oh, well, you get the tokens. So you get the tokens, then everything gets reduced. Something to that effect or something. Sean Abbott says, I use Kenosis as my commander. In my Simic, is it Kenosis? This one? Simic, Kraken, Serpent, Octo. Oh, I see this. You use this in your, I guess, the Kraken deck. Anyway, not to the show. Does Tarmogoyf count? No. Even though it's a 4/5, pretty odd. Like 80% of the time, Tarmogoyf will be a 4/5. Evan, Mora, and Tashar. This is a 5 mana 4/5 Phyrexian Spirit Bird. Flying. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target non-land permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Unbelievable. It gains haste. Exile. Oh, but you have to exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere. So they actually balance this card pretty well. I thought, wow, you just reanimate stuff for playing historic spells? That's broken. It's a little fair if it's just a one-shot shebang. Still, you're gonna get ETBs. You're gonna get ETBs around there. Okay, Christopher B looking to redeem himself. Sunblast Angel. Gonna blast you into space. 6 mana for a 4/5 flyer. Enters the battlefield. Oh, destroy all tapped creatures. That's phenomenal. Yeah. I guess you just lure somebody and follow it up with the Sunblast Angel. They'll realize they fell straight into your trap. Got tarp big time. I actually wouldn't see this coming at all, Sunblast Angel. It's actually really nice removal, especially for the player. Like on your turn, all your stuff is untapped. You just play this thing and then blow everyone away. Next up, King Ginger with Cataclysmic Gear Hulk. Let's gear it up. This is a funny card. It's a white 3 generic 4/5 construct with vigilance. Enters the battlefield. Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, and then they have to sacrifice the rest.
No, God, please.
So you choose. You get to pick only one. It's like you're going to be alone on an island with a very few things. All right, so you gotta pick between. It's like one of those memes. You have this much money, choose this many things, and then that's it. You lose the rest. That's how it's going to work around here with Cataclysmic Gear Hulk. Oh yeah, we have super chats. Dangerous One. Thank you so much for your super chat. Palancron. Oh, really? You know what? I had no idea Palancron was a 4/5 creature. Maybe because nobody cares about what the power and toughness is on this card. 7 mana flyer. When it enters the battlefield, untap up to 7 lands. So it's free. So 7 mana, you did it for nothing. That's a good deal. Hey, there's nothing wrong with free. Unless you're giving it away for free. Anyone heard that like Red Lobster is now like bankrupt? Partially, they were already going bankrupt, but they dug themselves into an even deeper hole by offering like all-you-can-eat shrimp. Anyway, so yeah, free is good when you're getting the free stuff. Pay 4, return Palancron to its owner's hand. So if you have any lands in play that tap for multiple amounts of mana, you got Nykthos, maybe even Gaia's Cradle, you have infinite mana over here. So you just keep churning that infinite mana, and I don't know, you do something with it. I don't know. They say too much of a good thing is a bad thing, but you know, ever since they got rid of mana burn, it's only good thing. You can't go wrong. All right, next up, we've got... You know what, for Genka, I do it be payday. Oh, you're more generous, Steve Cooper, as soon as we get closer to the end of the week. I wonder how you budget yourself for the show. Next up, we'll go with Turiat, God Eternal Kefnet. Good old Kefnet. Oh, where are you? 4 mana, 4/5 Zombie God for those zombie decks that want to be in blue. Which is surprisingly common. There's a lot of blue zombies out there. Flying. You may reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card this way, copy that card and you may cast the copy. The copy costs 2 less to cast, so you still have to pay for it. But you just have some cheap spells and it's all going to be good. When God Eternal Kefnet dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library 3rd from the top. It's like a command zone, but it's at the top, sort of close to the top of the library. Yeah, I guess they made this after way after Commander had already existed. Anyway, yeah, it's eternal. I can't guarantee it's going to resolve again, but it's quite eternal. Okay, next up we've got John, Keeper of Fables. Keeper of Fables, they have 5 mana 4/5 cat. Whenever one or more non-human creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Frankly, anything that's going to be drawing me some cards every turn, that's got the thumbs up from me. I love it. I love dealing damage and somehow getting value. It's like I robbed my opponent. Innistrad has a blue and black zombie thing. I know, Sheelan. And as a result, there's a lot of blue-black zombies out there. Thanks to Stitcher Supplier, there's a lot of super outrageously powerful graveyard decks. Pacers fan forever is like, have we done Shieldred the Apocalypse yet? Have we done Shieldred the Apocalypse? Okay, the count is at 3. The Shieldred account is at 3 so far. What's next? Who hasn't got a card yet? Did we do Siege Rhino? We have not. Is there still a format where this card is like S tier? The 4 mana Rhino with Trample. Enter the battlefield. Each opponent loses 3 life, and you certainly gain 3 life. You don't gain life equal to how much life was lost, but hey, 3 life is 3 life. The Lightning Helix on top of a 4/5 creature. Who would have thought like that was so hard to kill? Dominated. Standard. Dominated. Modern. I think I had no play in Legacy, though. Just didn't do anything. Just not that strong. But strong where it was strong. Strong where it was. Next super chat we got from Steve Cooper. Urza Chief Artificer. The Chief. He was a lot of things. And donate 4 to chat. We shall do that. Wow, 6 mana. An Esper. I didn't know he was I knew he was Azorius. This must have been part of his arc where he went to the dark side. Affinity for artifact artifact creatures. So as many artifact creatures I have on the battlefield, this thing can just cost 3. Artifact creatures you control have menace. That's quite good. And at the beginning of your end step, create a construct every single turn. Are you... I think this is crazy. I think just having 1 is pretty broken. Getting this every single turn for nothing. The hard part is getting them in play reasonably well. Affinity for artifact creatures. It can be done. I can make it work. The count is at 4. Okay, next up, we'll go with David Howers. Urza's always been a eugenicist, so yeah, super evil. I don't know much about Urza. I just thought he's like, I always looked at him like Thanos from the outside. Like, I don't know anything about the lore of Urza. I thought he was like a sort of a well-mannered, but so in his mind, he's doing the right thing. That's the way I saw Urza. He doesn't look how well-dressed he is. He's well-dressed in all the pictures. All right. Next up, we're going to get Kano, Analia. Anala, is this? And this is our the first of the 4 free. Anala, Archmage Ritualist for 5 mana. Eminence! Are there any bad Eminence cards out there? Human Wizard. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Anala is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste. Oh, then you exile at the beginning of the next end step. That is not the worst. It'll just be bad if you copy like ETB wizards, if they exist. I'm sure some of them exist in some capacity. Tap 5 untap wizards you control. Target a player loses 7 life. Honestly, I don't even think that that's the most dangerous thing in the world. Really cool card. So I was like, you get my duper chat for Shieldred? The count is at 5. The count is at Henrik. And Nala. Wait, we just did this one. Sorry about that. Thanos is a bee. He's been killed 3. Really? I didn't know. I thought Thanos died once and then that's it. Toilet Dock, Graven Archfiend. Where is everybody? I feel like chat is slow. We got 45 people in chat. It's a little low on. What the hell? We have alchemy cards. 5 mana 4/5 Gargoyle Demon as an additional cost to cast this spell. You may sacrifice a non-demon creature. It also has flying. When Graven Archfiend enters the battlefield, if its additional cost was paid, conjure a card named Demonic Pact onto the battlefield. How do you demonic? I thought demonic pact. I thought that was like a card. Why you put that on the battlefield? Oh, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Okay, so you can get a demonic pact and put it on the battlefield. Interesting. That is very, very interesting. Could be the beginning of your own demise. May not work the way you want to. Okay, we're here. One more freebie. Gonna go to Evan Hoffrey. The Ghost Forge. This is a 5 mana dwarf cleric. Spirits you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. I don't understand why they make like lords in a completely off kindred card. Like a dwarf that buffs up the spirits. I mean, there might be some spirit clerics, maybe. No, this just doesn't work at all. Whatever. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a spirit, in addition to its other types. And it has. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to your graveyard. Ah, so it makes its own spirits, basically. It's a spirit maker. Sounds a bit weird. Okay, Christopher B., huge person in the lore. Urza was such a bastard. He recruited someone into his 9 Titans team to directly assault Phyrexia, whom he knew would kill mates, and did. So he'd have an excuse to sack them to power weapons. You know, I guess Urza should have had the title at the bottom. There's what was Dark Confidant? Greatness at any cost. Oh, I didn't even know they had new art for Dark Confidant. Interesting. Greatness at any cost. Okay, next super chat. Triox. Mesmerizing Benthid. I've been really surprised if someone already mentioned the Mesmerizing Benthid already. Alright, we got the Mesmerizing Benthid, 5-mana Octopus. And when it enters the battlefield, create 2/0/2 blue illusion creature tokens with, whenever this creature blocks a creature, that creature does an untap during its controller's next untap step. That's called stunning. We're gonna stun them. And the Benthid has hexproof as long as you control an illusion. Don't underestimate. You know what? I think a very underestimated creature type in the game is octopuses. Every octopus has these bomb abilities. Like, they are really, really strong. I don't know, I get, but the thing is, a lot of octopus cards, they're usually pretty expensive. So it's a little bit, like, more funsy than actually competitive. But every octopus I read is like, wow, that's pretty good. Wow, that's pretty good. Wow, that's pretty good. Unlike Krakens, which are just all stone cold garbage. Like, they're all terrible. Except maybe one Leviathan is good. Maybe one. John says, octopuses are in my From the Deep deck. From the Deep. Is there an octopus lord out there? Mason! The count is at 6. You're the 6th person to recommend that card. Okay, Jess. We got Dread Sheol. Oh, you got me! Look at that! Oh, you so got me. That was an accident. How did you know that would show up? That's funny. Okay, average COD clips with Chillwind Yeti. / sarcasm. Chillwind Yeti? Does it even exist? Chilling Yeti? Card doesn't exist. I couldn't even find your troll. Carnivorous plant. This is 4-mana 4/5 with Defender. This card sucks. Not very dangerous in my opinion. We'll move to a super chat. We'll move to King Ginger. Harmonious Archon. Underrated for Commander. This is 6 mana, but it is a flying Archon. Non-Archon creatures have base power and toughness 3/3. When Harmonious Archon enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human creature tokens. So it's a pretty big token generator. Non-Archon creatures, and also, so it's like, is it like a sort of like a Shield Dread in that you like dominate everybody's like creatures? So anything was, it's like a super Oko actually. All will be 3/3. It's like, that's I don't know, this is like a combination of Oko and that Praetor. What's her name? I can't remember her. Some sort of queen of the Phyrexians. Anyway, very interesting card. And also on top of that, if you build this with some sort of 3-damage sweeper like Anger of the Gods, Brotherhood End, that's gonna be quite the blowout. Quite the blowout. Elish Norn. Yeah, the Elish Norn is what I was thinking of. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, or to some other people, it might be Mommy. It might be Mommy. Good afternoon, TCG dude. Okay, let's give another one. We're gonna go to Dinglebag with the Mirror Wing Dragon. Mirror Wing Dragon, 5 mana, 4/5 dragon. Flying. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Mirror Wing Dragon, that player copies that spell for each other creature they control that the spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. Hold on, let me internalize this. So whenever a player casts an instant or a sorcery spell that targets only the Mirror Wing Dragon, let's say Lightning Bolt, that player copies that spell for each other creature he or she controls that the spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. This is neat. So if someone targets this with removal, they're gonna blow their own board up. It only targets all of their stuff. But if we target this with, say, a pump spell, like Giant Growth, then we Giant Growth our entire board. Everything gets Giant Growth. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Elixir's like, it's been 30 minutes. It has not been 30 minutes. The show hasn't even been 30 minutes long. It's been 25 minutes. It's the 6th time we hear Shieldred been mentioned. The count is at 6. I'm surprised Nikachu hasn't just put a counter up with no content. Hold on. How easy is it for me to, like, update this thing? It's just too clunky for me to update it. So I'm just not going to, update it. Okay, next up, we have a super chat. We have more super chats. Okay, King Ginger, Magus of the Mind. There's more Maguses than I thought existed. This is a 6-mana human wizard. Pay blue, tap, sacrifice it, shuffle your library, then exile the top X cards, where X is 1 plus the number of spells cast this turn. Until end of turn, you may play those cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Oh, this is Mind's Desire in the form of a card. Mind's Desire, broken, but way more fair when you force someone to pay 6 mana to put it onto a creature, put it into play, wait till next turn because that's summoning sickness, etc., etc., etc. Happy birthday, Jess! Am I older or younger than you? You are older than me, but not by much. Don't worry, I'm catching up to you. But by the time I catch up to you, you'll be catching up to somebody else. Okay, we got Ferginka, Alabu. Alabu, Ancient Witness. This is a statue? Well, it is a golem. It is a 5-mana golem. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. Well, that's good because this creature doesn't look like it has haste itself. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alabu Ancient Witness deals X damage to any target and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. I like it. I like it. And also, you can't underestimate haste, especially for artifact creatures. Imagine, like, actually, this is really good with, say, Mirror Battlesphere. Mirror Battlefield. Enter the battlefield, make a bunch of mirrors, attack immediately, just smoke everybody in one shot. Bob Talks Bridge. Bridge Master, huh? I made only one modern deck using Yorion. That's actually impressive. No one mentioned Yorion yet. In my Is It Prowess deck. It didn't work well. Okay. That's how I expected it to work. Yeah, this, not very good in Is It Prowess. Now, it is good as a 5-mana 4/5. Maybe I can even put this in Merfolk somehow. Your starting deck contains at least 20 cards more than the minimum deck size. Flying. When Yorion enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you own and control. Return those cards to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. Usually, like, really good in control decks, they'll be playing a combination of Subtlety, Solitude, so you can just put Yorion in your hand and pitch, and, like, it's like you only lost 1 card from your hand. Not to mention, for 5 mana, it's not that expensive for a control deck. Like, 5 mana is, like, nothing. They used to have, like, 6 mana, what's it called? 6 mana, 7 mana, like, win conditions, and this is just 5 mana, 4/5, block your stuff, and actually very largely can attack the opponent. Not to mention it can blink a bunch of enchantments on the battlefield, like Leyline Binding, and get better value. All right, you heard that music? I love that music too, because it's time to thank our sponsors, FusionGamingOnline.com. Boy, do I have a deal for you. 20% off all singles, whether it be dual lands, planeswalkers, creatures, everything your heart's desires. From May 29th to June 1st, this is one of the best deals you can possibly get. This is like one of those deals you usually only get at Christmas. So Christmas has come early at FusionGamingOnline.com. Go check it out today. Outside of that, there's also Modern Horizons 3 spoilers, or like singles that you can get early. Pre-order. I pre-ordered mine. I got my Flare of Denial. I got my Harbinger of the Seas. So you have to be prepared for that metagame when it first comes out. And I'll be ready week 1 at FusionGamingOnline.com. Now, this coupon code is not going to work while the big sale is online, but otherwise, usually you can use coupon code Nikachu to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play any deck, any format that you want. You can even play Commander. They even encourage Commander. They now have Commander leagues for the CEDH players. But for everybody else, you can play for free for funsies with just regular Commander players, and you can have access to all decks when you're renting with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_OKM. And back to the wonderful, beautiful, super powerful cards. Powerful 4/5s, as we say, the powerful 4/5s. Pages fan forever. Thrinax, the Sudden Storm. Or sorry, not Thrinax. Thrinx. Alright, Thrix, Sudden Storm. Suddenly it's raining outside. 5 mana, 4/5 giant elemental. Flash and flying. Spells you cast with mana value 5 or greater cost 1 less to cast and can't. Whoa! It cannot be countered. There we go, counterspell players. More reasons to hate your own counterspells. That's why we play things like Subtlety around here, so that we can effectively counter the uncounterable. Stuff that is uncounterable is so common these days that they have to now print stuff for the counterspell decks that lets you counter things, like that new Stupor card, or, Revive? Is it Revive? No, I don't got the name. It's that white mana 2, it's that white 2 mana instant. Return the card back to their hand, you draw a card. I don't remember though. I don't remember. I'm not good with names. I'm good with what the card does. Too many names in this game. Learn a bunch of new names from a new set, then all the old names, they start to disappear. Okay, next up, we've got, oh, was it Reprieve? Reprieve, that's what I was thinking of. Reprieve, not Revive. Next up, we need a freebie. Pelucranos, Christopher B. Reborn is back. And better than ever at 3 mana 4/5. That is very strong. It's also got reach, which makes sense because apparently these, I don't know, these Hydra heads can reach the sky. Now for a 6 and a Phyrexian, transform Pelucranos, activate only as a sorcery, and it can become the Engine of Ruin, a 6/6 reaching lifelinker. And when it dies, you can get a 3/3 green white Phyrexian Hydra with reach, and a 3/3 white Phyrexian Hydra with lifelink. It's a pretty cool card overall, honestly. Okay, next up we've got the dangerous one. Come on, Ian. Oh, the Charmer. Is it gonna find it if I, yeah, they're good. Was that just Tasigur? Okay, technically we are looking up Tasigur here. The 6 mana human shaman with Delve. And for Simic 2 generic, mill 2 cards and return a non-land card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand. The key is to keep your graveyard clean. You can also do that with Relic of Progenitus. Target yourself, just slowly sift away all the crappy cards you don't want to be put in your hand. Make sure your opponent has basically no good decision, but to give you something great. Now... Stupid sexy Tasigur. Stupidly sexy. I'd quote something from Jurassic Park, but I don't remember any of the quotes that he said. Nature will find a way. But I don't think he said that at this point. It's funny. They're showing him when he's, like, the most vulnerable. This is when his leg got bit. And, like, he's in no position to attack at all. It's like, this is just a complete contradiction to what this card does. This is not gonna. He's not gonna attack for. He's not attacking with as a 4/5. He'll barely run away with the help of somebody else. We didn't say clever girl either. That was someone. That who said that. That was their last words. Yeah. And where's the bananas? There's probably bananas on that island. David, Rolesk, prime specimen. Is there a prime specimen? Oh, the prime specimen. An alchemy card. I'm sure you'll have full domination over the alchemy cards. 4 mana, 4/5 human mutant. Flying. When the prime specimen or another permanent you control is turned face up, you may pay X. If you do, if X is 1 or more, conjure a duplicate of a random creature card with mana value X into your hand. Cloak it? What the hell? It gains... And this card is so confusing. Imagine playing this in paper. Like, I remember it's cloaked. It has this extra ability. Anyway, okay, it's got Simic. Turn this creature face up for as long as it remains face down, and we can disguise this for a blue and green. This is a really complex card. It's like above and beyond stupidly complex. Gunblade Knight. Oh, I'm sorry, you got sniped. We did Yorian. If you have another one, let me know. I'll keep an eye out for you. Gunblade Knight. Let's see. Another Shieldred comment. That's the 7th time I've read a Shieldred comment. Nothing prime about this specimen. We're running out of cards! Michaeling. Exalted. Angel. Should probably get through all the super chats to make sure no one gets sniped. It's a white 4 generic 4/5 angel. When it deals damage, you gain that much life. That's pretty sweet. This could be a lot of life gain. It's got morph. Maybe they're not even gonna see it coming. Okay, I'm gonna get through all the super chats so nobody like gets sniped. We have Aloro, Ageless Ascetic. But don't worry, Steve Cooper's in these super chats. Make sure that other people get their cards in. Aloro, 6 mana, Giant Soldier. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life. Whoops, that's not the... There we go. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Aloro, Ageless Ascetic is in your command zone, you gain 2 life. Eminence! Eminence! It's basically Eminence. If it's in the command, it's basically an Eminence ability as far as I'm concerned. They were testing. They were like, this is not so bad. We can make more of these things. Unbelievable. And then it turned into an absolute abomination. Frankie Super! For the back Baloth. We are getting to the point where we probably would end up calling out this card anyway. Now, it doesn't have a lot of abilities, but back in the day, 3 mana 4/4/5 in a budget deck was actually pretty good. Pretty good at going 40%, if you ask me. We got Memnarch from Pacers Fan Forever. Ooh, the 7 mana wizard. Pay 3. Target perm becomes an artifact. And also pay 4. You swipe it, yoink, and it's yours. King Ginger. Tasker, oh no. Oh no! Yeah, I got sniped, King Ginger. Sorry about that. Okay, who wants a card? Gavin does. Optimus Prime. Inspiring Leader. Is this it? Which Optimus Prime? Is this it? Optimus Prime. Is this the same card? Hold on, you said Inspiring Leader. There is nothing here that's a 4/5. How many maybe I'll look up Inspiring Leader. Inspiring Leader. Maybe it's not Optimus Prime. Nope, that's the only Inspiring Leader card in this game. Oh, are you... No, I don't get it. Sorry about that. I can't find it. Arcanus Ultra with Sovereigns of Lost... What? Does this work? Sovereigns of Lost Alara. Oh, this is a 4/5 creature. I had no idea. 6 mana spirits got exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone. And only alone. But they have to be brave. You may search your library for an aura card that could enchant that creature. Put it onto the battlefield attached to that creature, then shuffle your library. They're probably attacking with the knowledge about what's in your deck. And it's powerful. Steve Cooper! What do you got for us? Shieldred, the True Scriptures? The True Scriptures. Double-faced donation. And donate 2 for chat. You better believe it. I will do that. Okay, we have a 5 mana Phyrexian Praetor with Menace. Enters the battlefield. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker. Pay 5, exile your Shieldred, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery, and only if an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. A little bit situational. An opponent, if someone else has to have a bunch of stuff in their graveyard, still 4 or 5 menace. And also, it's a double-sided one. It's got the true scriptures. It's a saga. How do you transform it? Oh, you exile. Yeah, of course. That's what we were doing the entire time. Chapter 1, for each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls. Chapter 2, each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3 cards. That's either going to be really good or really bad for you. Chapter 3, put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. That's good for you. Just make sure you pull it off in time. Exile the true scriptures, then return it back to the battlefield as a Shieldred. Everything will everything is going to go down as planned. All right, now 2 freebies. That's what people were suggesting about not the... Oh, were they? Oh, were they suggesting the actual Shieldred? Oh, there's actually a Shieldred. That's right. There's an OG. I had no idea. I screwed everybody. This Shieldred count is at 7. Maybe I screwed them all up. It's Shieldred. There's no way I would have ever figured that out, even if you put in like quotation marks. I think how Christopher B did it was perfect, giving me the other side of the card. That's the only way I would have figured it out. Okay, next up. Syndicate Recruiter from Toilet Duck. This is a 4-mana Vampire Rogue, flying in Ward 1. When Syndicate Recruiter enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. And then if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard, conjure a card named Dig Up the Body into your hand. I have no idea what that is. Dig Up the Body. 3-mana instant, casualty 1, mill 2 cards, and you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This card sucks! Therefore, this card is actually good by itself. Flying 4/5 with ward for 4 mana, I'll take it. This card's terrible. I don't know, maybe casualty 1. You cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature when you do copy it. I don't like that. I don't like it. What else do we have? We have one more freebie. Oh, Gunblade tried to get Shieldred from Mom. Sorry about that. Gunblade, try again. Keep going. Do you have another one? It was still considered a mistake by players. Oh yeah, they're all mistakes. All the Shieldreds. Okay, so we don't got one. Okay, do you have one at Kaya? We did Kefnet already. It's gonna be tough. There's not a lot of good 4/5s out there. Eventually, we're gonna have to go to the bottom of the barrel, like with Aetherling. The bottom of the barrel. 6-mana Shapeshifter, pay a blue. Exile your Aetherling, return it at the beginning of the next end step. Pay a blue, it's unblockable. Pay a 1, gets +1, -1 until end of turn. Pay another 1, it gets -1, +1 until end of turn. Alright, Pacers, Fan Forever, Primordial Sage. This is a 6-mana 4/5 Spirit. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you may draw a card. That's awesome! It's good for an elf deck. It's pretty good. It's very good for an elf deck. You might as well just consider this an elf card right off the bat. Okay, next super chat from Akaya. This is Cavalier of Night. Five-mana Elemental Knight with lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target creature an opponent controls. An eye for an eye, except I sacked my eye first. When Cavalier of Night dies, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, very good value. If you kill me, you will make the thing in my graveyard more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Okay, now we got King... Is this... Turgrid, God of Fright. Did we not do this one as well? Yeah, we did this one, King Ginger. You're sniping yourself left, right, and center around here. Oh, you have a different one. Umori, the collector. Umori collecting around here. I played this card once in Historic in a Merfolk deck. It's 4 mana. It's a news companion. Each non-land card in your starting deck shares a card type. I don't understand this. Like, this card is only gonna go into like 2 decks. One deck with like only instants in it, and like one deck that has only. I guess it could go into a mono artifact deck. It's so hard to build around this card. Like, its most obvious build around is just creatures. So when it enters the battlefield, choose a card type, and spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. Funny card. Dark Star. Shura. Missy. Is that an actual card? Powerful with creatures with morph. And any sack outlets. Example, Ruthless Ripper. Oh, Mary Poppins! We got Mary Poppins on screen. 6 mana, 4/5, Time Lord Rogue. Whenever another non-artifact creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. Face down, tapped. It's a 2/2 Cyberman artifact creature. That sounds creepy. So basically, whenever something dies, you're like cybernetically changing and bringing it back to life. We can rebuild it! It'll be stronger than ever. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent faces a villainous choice. Very villainous. Each artifact creature you control deals 1 damage to that opponent, or you draw a card and chaos ensues. Which means something completely I actually don't know how chaos ensues properly. Like, I have some idea, but not a very, very good idea. Basis fan forever. Kira, Sovereign Deep is a merfolk. Oh, you definitely got sniped on that one. Sorry about that. Pretty sure, yeah, that was a snipe. Or you might not have been here when we saw that one. Sovereigns of Lost Alara. We did Sovereigns. This is just gonna be a show of digging for things. Okay, Gunblade Knight got sniped too. Sigarda, Huron's Grace. If I remember correctly, Gunblade Knight has such bad luck on this show, especially with super chats. Okay, this 5 mana angel flying. You and humans you control have hexproof. Don't even try. Don't even try to point your removal spells here. Pay 2, exile a card from your graveyard. Create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. All right, turn that graveyard into food. Like compost. Very big compost. Next up, we've got Triox. Hunted Nightmare. This is a 3 mana Nightmare with Menace. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a Death Touch counter on a creature they control. Interesting trade-off. It's a 4. It's pretty big for 3 mana. So a 4/5 with Menace, that's super hard to block. And whatever you put the Death Touch counter on, I'm just gonna kill it anyway. Black deck, what do I care? Manfaxo with a donation to get 1 step closer to your brother showing his feet on stream. Okay, we just need him to be here. That'd be so weird to show his feet. Okay, we did Clothis. We didn't do Sphinx of the Revelation. Five mana, 4/5 Sphinx, flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you get that much energy. Woo! Oh, this is a new card. This is even. I was about to say this would be really good with all the new Modern Horizons cards coming out. Don't you think, buddies? Don't you think? Yeah, apparently this is just this is coming out. Okay, yeah, what a quinky dink. And then 3 mana, tap, pay X, energy, draw X cards. Draw them X cards. Henrik! Natemk! Is that a real card? Some of these cards are getting... You gotta be kidding me. You absolutely... I got twice! You super chatted this thing. How did you know that was gonna look this up, though? How do you people know this stuff? You people know the depths of Scryfall better than I do. How do you, is this like Shieldred just in another language? Is this Shieldred's like Phyrexian name if you pronounce it? Natemk! If I say Natemk 5 times straight, Shieldred herself will appear behind me. I will summon her from the depths of hell. Okay, that was basically a free one. We'll give this one to Gavin. F, Weatherlight. Sometimes is a creature. But it's not a 4/5. Is that... I'm assuming this is the card that you're looking up. So give this to another one. Will of Darkness. The old Ernham Djinn used to be good. Nam Djinn. Hope this is spelled right. Once upon a time, 4 mana for 4/5 was amazing. Could attack straight into a Sarah Angel without thinking twice. At the beginning of your upkeep, target non-wall creature an opponent controls gains Forest Walk until your next upkeep. Also granted Forest Walk. So broken. And John Scott, give one to chat. Ooh, we have a lot of donations here, actually. That's amazing. Okay, back to chat. Okay, we're gonna have... Oh, just Weatherlight? I don't think that's a creature, though. Weatherlight. There's Skyship Weatherlight. Both of them are vehicles, which means they're disqualified. Big time disqualified. Steven with King Crab. Crab this big, 6 mana. Pay 2, tap. Put target green creature on top of owner's library. That's a sick ability. It's a bit expensive, but it's like a creature that can sort of hold itself down. Like it can take care of itself. That's actually a really strong ability. Unfortunately, it's just really hating on only the green decks. So you have to change the color of their spells and their permanents to green. And then this deck is online. N99, Jackalope Herd. Jackalope Herd, 4 mana. It's a beast. If you would play any spell, return Jackalope Herd to its owner's hand. This card's terrible. Absolutely terrible. We did Urza. The Chief Urza. Pedgeman, Ripjaw Raptor. We did not do that one. 4 mana, 4/5 within rage. Whenever it's dealt damage, you draw a card. See, it's more motivated when it gets angry. Way more motivated. We did Turgid God. Yeah, look at everyone trying to pull off the Turgid God of Fright. Oh no, Turgid is not. Okay. Anyway, we did Turgid. I got mistaken. I thought that was the backside of Shieldred. Thought you people are trying to pull a joke on me. No, we did Turgid already. Actually, they were the 3rd person to name Turgid. King Ginger says, I second Pacer fans card. What was that? Spirit of the Earth? 6 mana flying. You have Hexproof! Oh my goodness. Your opponent's not gonna like that one. It's a cat spirit? It's like Mufasa past the grave. Completely past the grave. From beyond the grave. Okay, do you have are you trolling me here? Stone Tongue Basilisk. That was, I used to have a promo of this card. 7 mana. When it deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature at end of combat. Don't even get in line with the Stone Tongue Basilisk threshold that all creatures able to block Stone Tongue Basilisks do so. You have 7 cards in your graveyard, also a lure attached to it. I killed Mufasa. Anyone cry during Lion King? I didn't, but I heard a lot of... You know what? Lion King is such an interesting movie. Because I could look at a class full of kids watching Lion King. You can see like a 1/3 of them tearing up and crying over Mufasa's death. He wasn't around for long, but holy crap, did Mufasa touch us all. This is right in the heart, right over here. It's where we're going to remember him. Okay, next up. Who hasn't got a card yet? I'm trying to... Okay, Evan, I don't even know if Evan got a card. Valkyrie Harbinger? There's so many cards called Valkyrie. There's so many cards called Harbinger these days. They're running out of combinations for these names. 6 mana Angel Cleric, Flying Lifelink. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained 4 or more life this turn... I don't know why... When I was reading that, I thought it was going to say if you gained 4 more pounds. Anyway, if you gain 4 more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. It's like, why is it asking me if I'm going to gain some weight around here? Because I'm going to summon big angels. Big guns. Next up. Ooh, is there a Gandalf the White? Five mana Avatar Wizard with Flash. You may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had Flash. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. It's a great card. Especially if you've got them triggers going. Elixir, thank you so much for your super chat. The show definitely needs Rockstar. Is that going to redirect to Shieldred or something? It's an Acorn card. 5 mana elemental performer with reach. Enters the battlefield. You may discard a card. If you do, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Ask a person outside the game to choose which one of them is most like a rock band. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is literally just a regular card, except it's just phrased in such a weird way that gets people from outside the game to help you. Mordred is like, hey, I'm watching the VOD right now. Where are we on the Shieldred count? Some people are probably watching from the beginning, like Mordred. I think we're at 8. I think we're at 8. Dinglebag says, the Groovy print is better since you can lie about its ability much more easily than with other cards. I have no idea what this is in reference to. We did Siege Rhino already. Did we do Urnham? We did Urnham Dijin, actually. We're just running out of cards. We got Earthshaker from Christopher B. The Earthshaker. 6 mana spirit. It's whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, Earthshaker deals 2 damage to each creature without flying. Oh, including your creatures. That could backfire big time. You just have to build your deck around this thing. It's a build around card. Dark Star Ashura, thank you so much for your super chat. Hunted Nightmare. Oh, we did this one, Dark Star Ashura. We gotta donate that one to Kano. The Quagnoth! I know what that is. Oh no, I don't know what that is. I was thinking of Scragnoth, I guess. Okay, 6 mana. It's got Split Second, and it's got Shroud. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard Quagnoth, return it to your hand. Oh, I thought it was like, huh? So if I were to discard it, I just put it back. I guess that's just how it works. I thought it was gonna say just put it on the battlefield, like some cards out there. Duke Firebird with a Lisa. Forgotten Archangel. Flying Lifelink. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, return that card to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. Oh, it's like a Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace on a Flying Lifelink creature. Another super chat from Mamfaxo. Mufasa touched us all. We're suing Disney. We'll set, yeah, we'll set. Get your mind out of the gutter. We did Gandalf the White. Okay, we're definitely donating this one. Who did not? Steven, I don't know if you got one. Taphraderm. I don't even know what these cards are anymore. Well, this one I've never heard of. 5 mana. Whenever a creature deals damage to Taphraderm, Taphraderm deals that much damage to that creature. You punch me, I punch you back just as much. Whenever a spell deals damage to Taphraderm, Taphraderm deals that much damage to that spell's controller. Sledge Michaels, I know you didn't get one, a clean one in. Jozu. Vest Leech Knight. This is a 4 mana zombie knight. It's got a kicker of 6, so good luck paying for that. Gonna take out a mortgage in order to pay for that kicker. When Jozu Vest Lich Knight enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create 8 2/2 black zombie knight creature tokens with menace. The tables have turned. I've brought the zombie army. Zombie army for all. What do we got here? At this point, we're on the advanced search and Scryfall. Yeah, advanced search. You have to advanced search. Power 4, toughness 5, worth less than $1. Because we're at the bottom of the barrel of the playables here. Imagine trying to kick this after he dies as your commander. Oh yeah. I didn't think about that. Well, you gotta be in a Cabal Coffers deck. You gotta be in Cabal Coffers. It will work perfectly. Absolute perfectly. Okay, Kano is seconding Jasmine Boreal. Who even first did this? Who's the origin to this? Okay, N99 got this one. This card's terrible. This card's absolutely terrible. It's worse than the Dejin. Dejin at least gave things Forest Walk. Okay, we do have a super chat from Darkstar Ashura. And Darkstar Ashura is going to assure me. Magnus the Red, we did that one. Don't mind me casting spells for tokens and storming off with Grape Shot. We did Magus of the Red. Or Magus the Red. So for that, we give you the snipe sound effect. Vo Grizzly! Soul Blast Angel. Oh, is that the one? Is that the board wipe angel? Soul Blast Angel? Soul Blast something? Soul Blast Angel doesn't exist. Blast Angel. Oh, Sun Blast. Yeah, we did that one. Ebony Rhino. Ooh, a whole... For, I don't even know how to describe how bad this card is. 7 mana, and we've got Trample. That's what Trample. Trample is worth a whole 3 extra mana on top of everything else over here. We did Gandalf the White. Did we do Gandalf the White? I'm pretty sure. Gandalf the White. Pretty sure we did Gandalf the White. Yeah, we did Gandalf the White. Pedgeman, alternative to Glimpse of Nature. I think we did that one too. I think we've done everything. We did everything. What do we let's if I get 4 fails in a row, the show is over. Wingbane. I don't think we did this one. Vantasaur. Okay, that's a new one. It's an alchemy card. 4 mana, dinosaur, reach, enter the battlefield, choose one. Conjure a card named Savage Stomp into your hand. Or conjure a card named Naturalize into your hand. What is Savage Stomp? I think it's a fight card. Spell costs 2 less if you have a dinosaur. Put a counter on a creature you control. Then I'm gonna fight! Fight, 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 fight. Get him. Okay, did we just do the... Did you just snipe yourself at the wrong... Oh, that was Ebony Rhino. Okay. Darkstar Shura, you got it. Nullstone Gargoyle. 9 mana. Now it's got flying. Whenever the first non-creature spell each turn is played, counter that spell. Oh, you want to play a spell? Countered. Wow, it's like it's like a fair Arreo. This is like how Arreo should have been designed. We done yeah. You know we've done Shieldred. We did all the good ones. That's all that's left are bad cards. I guess so. Okay, we'll see what N99 has. Razor Jaw Oni. I swear this time it's really dangerous. Black creatures can't block. It's good in the mirror. It's good sideboard card. You know what? I could accept this card. It does have a strong ability. It's just narrow. Imagine playing this against a fellow black deck. Yeah, like you just... It's almost like you have island... It's almost like having land walk. Turiat, Titan Hunter. The show ends when we hit too many duds. 5 mana Human Warrior at the beginning of each player's end step. If no creatures died this turn, Titan Hunter deals 4 damage to that player. Also, 2 mana, sack a creature. You're going to gain some life. You gain 4 life. How about Atomus All-Seeing, says Bryce. It's interesting. Did you just come out of nowhere and suggest a card that no one else has chosen yet? Wow! That's amazing! This late in the game, you have something to tell us. 6 mana, flying, pay 3, tap. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Whenever Adamus deals damage to an opponent, you may reveal your hand. If cards with at least 6 different converted mana costs are revealed this way, that player loses the game. So long, sucker. You 1 shot, 1 kill. We did Gerhulk. Kana with Anti-Flash. Sounds like a superhero name. But a veteran. 6 mana, flash. Human Rogue. When Anti-Flash, the veteran, enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's great. Whenever Anti-Flash becomes tapped, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. That's also great. It's actually a really good card. Some gold being found at the end of the show. Adarkar Valkyrie. Thank you very much for your super chat, King Ginger. I only know Adarkar Wastes. I didn't know there's an Adarkar Valkyrie. 6 mana, Flying Vigilance. Tap when target creature other than Adarkar Valkyrie dies this turn. Return that card to the battlefield under your control. What's yours is now mine. I think we've done Mycosynth Golem. Spotter Thopter? Spotter Thopter. Ooh, it's a 4/5. Or it could be a 2/3. Flying. When Spotter Thopter enters the battlefield, scry X, where X is its power. This card's honestly pretty terrible. This looks awful. Christopher B. with Colgan, the Storm's Fury. This is 5 mana for a flyer. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Probably good for the dragon deck. What a weird dash. It's cost exactly the same as the cost of the card. You're just desperate for that, what's it called? For that haste. Nuclear Yoshi. Mind Rack Demon. Are you also just showing out of absolutely nowhere and giving us a playable card? You are. 4 mana for a flying trampling demon. When Mind Rack Demon enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard, and it has Delirium. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 4 life unless there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. Oh, I thought there was going to be upside to this. This is basically just a 4 mana, 4/5 trampling flyer. Lisa's been done, Godster. Lisa's, we've done one. End of the show. Illegal. You're streaming when I wake up in Australia. Good night, mate. Crowcore Games with the Vailyard. So what's up with the cap here? We've got it's a 5 mana Time Lord Noble. If an opponent would face a villainous choice, they face that choice an additional time. While voting, you may vote an additional time. Wow, democracy. Democracy. This is Emperor Palpatine over here, fellas. It's Emperor Palpatine over here. Do we do Glamorous Outlaw? Glamorous Outlaw. Pretty sure. Oh, maybe we didn't. 6 mana for a Vampire Rogue. Very well dressed vampire, might I. Vampires are very well dressed. When Glamorous Outlaw enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and you scry 2. Pay 2, exile Glamorous Outlaw from your hand. Target land gains tap, add black, red, or blue until Glamorous Outlaw is cast from exile. You may cast Glamorous Outlaw for as long as it remains in exile. This actually seems like isn't this like an incredibly underwhelming card? Anyone still watching on the replay? Have you lost trust in us? Are you waiting for that next gold mine? We got the Great Oak Guardian. Six mana flash and reach enters the battlefield. Creatures target player controls get +2/+2 until end of turn and untap them. Huge political card. At the right moment, that could be a great play. Really screw somebody over. Arbiter of the Ideal. coming out from King Ginger. Now, this is a 6-mana flying Sphinx. It's got Inspired. When Arbiter of the Ideal becomes untapped, reveal the top card of your library. If it's an artifact, creature, or land, you can put it onto the battlefield with a manifestation counter on it. That permanent is an enchantment in addition to its other types. So, step 1, cast this card. Step 2, attack with it. Step 3, when you untap with it, maybe get some big, huge card. Stormcrow with a giant growth cast. Oh my god. You're memeing. You're memeing. We did Stone. Yeah, it's funny. I don't even think Stone Tongue is very good, but yeah, we did that one as well. Okay, Christopher B. Today's your day, Christopher B. We got Rolesque. Apex Hybrid. Different one. Now, it's a 5-mana human mutant with flying and trample. Enters the battlefield, put 2+1/+1 counters on another target creature you control. So it comes to pump people up. Pump that iron. When it dies, proliferate. Then proliferate again. What do you think is going to happen to that creature? Have we done Anjay? Maid of Dishonor, Spectral Maniac. No. Okay, we have a 4-mana vampire. When Anjay, Maid of Dishonor, and or one or more other vampires enter the battlefield under your control, create a blood token. Now, this ability only triggers once each turn. Remember, blood token, pay 1, tap, sack the blood token, discard a card, draw a card. Pay 2, sacrifice another creature or a blood token. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's great! I don't like the sacking creature part, but the sacking blood token, I think that's phenomenal. Love it a lot. We did Yorion. Okay, we've got apparently from Sheelan and Toads, the great unclean one. Great unclean one. So what, you need a bath? 5 mana for a demon. Reverberating summons. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. Some lore I don't know here. Is this okay, what do I not understand about this one? I'm assuming you're referencing the Great Unclean one. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Okay, that's not bad. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3. Is it that like when you're ahead, you're just getting further and further and further ahead? Is that how this works here? That's the only way I can understand. Gandalf the White, number 732. You want to see a very specific version of Gandalf the White? Number 732. Oh god. These cards. These cards, why you can't read a damn thing that's on them. What is even the point of having... You know, it's fine to have full art cards. But when the full art... You can't even read the name of the full art card. That's a different problem around here. And then you just have to... You're just trying to memorize what a random, weird-looking cards do on the battlefield. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. It was a wonderful show today. I hope everyone had a lot of fun. Shieldred got mentioned like 20 times. As someone watching the replay, let me know how many times. I should have said that at the beginning. How many times is Shieldred going to be mentioned in chat? Let me know in the comment section below. We do this weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or super chat so that other people can be part of the show. And thanks everyone for being here, because you of course are the show itself. People like Christopher B, Toilet Duck, Toads, Mamfaxo, Henrik, Forginka, Quidizzle. We got Dinglebag, Crowcore Games, Kano, Steve Cooper, King Ginger, Sheelan, David, Samson, Henrik, Dinglebag, Old Boy, and 99, Mr. Deadhead, Brandon Hall, Spectral Maniac, Crowcore Games. Did I miss anybody? Maybe Toilet Duck? Don't know who I mentioned or didn't mention, but you're all equally, I love you all. So keep brewing up them coffees, my coffee crew, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you at the next cup.